Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel, James13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. Other than that, let's get into your selection. Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Cancer? What is that, 7 of Cups over here? Okay, so... Oh! An upside down card. Well, let's go a little farther here. There's 3 cards and 1 card face down again. Fine. What do we have? I feel like whatever you're a part of, you definitely wanted it. This is like searching for a house, purchasing your house. Choosing to enlarge your family, that's not the word. Grow your family, something like that. This is either like a social or it could be a financial gain that you literally chose. It's almost like an opportunity for a better job came up and you chose to make that happen. This is where this is starting from. You made a decision that was better for your life, and it was enriching to your life and those around you. This is how this started, right? I'm getting an overview, and I get like, this is kind of dealing with something that like, I feel like they're trying to give you better perspective to realize you have a lot of power and remembering that you have a lot of power. Because whatever's coming down the road, I feel like if they can get you in a spot where you remember how strong and how powerful you really are, this can go well. This can go well. I get like there's an energy in this situation that's very like, I keep getting something blunt. I don't know, like I feel like there's a blunt. It's either somebody or something is very blunt. It's just like, this is what it is. There's no working around it. This is what it is. And I feel like as I've moved forward in this situation, it's almost like if you started a job, maybe there's a couple people or a certain aspect of this job that is just, that's what it is. Like it or not, this is what it is. And some days it's okay, and some days I can't stand it. But either way, I got to deal with it. It's one of those things. And I do feel like that you've worked well with it. You've protected yourself with it. You've seen it for what it is, and you handle it. You do handle it. I keep getting the word realistically. Realistically, because I don't know that there's a fair way to say there's a way to handle it well and a way to handle it not well. I feel like it's very, whatever this situation is, it's kind of like, you're doing your best, you're really on point with it, and that's the best anybody could ask. So, like there's a lot of different, I'm getting like a slew of different ways this could happen. It's almost like a cranky coworker. Some people, maybe a child that is very difficult to handle. Other people, it's a boss, or could be certain things on a piece of property that are just, I'm constantly trying to fix but never seem to go quite right, but I am managing it and it's still surviving. Whatever it is, you are doing well. The point is to get more of this happiness, to get more of this, we got to kind of upset the apple cart a little bit and make some changes. Typically, in my opinion, Cancer, if it's a change that's worthwhile and you can see the point and you're allowed to like regulate it on your terms, it can be a good thing. They're trying to show you like if you make a change going forward, what could be possible for you. Changing the boundaries. Changing boundaries. that makes sense to you. Um, so part of this is kind of like you might have had certain boundaries. Some of you, it could have been really simple. There's certain foods you just don't eat. Not that you're allergic to them, you just don't, and that's how it is. Others of you, it could have been certain people you don't talk to, or certain people you don't like too close to you, or certain people you try to keep close to you. There's boundaries to be remeasured, reevaluated, and redrawn. Part of this is to remember not only how strong you are, but other people don't get to decide your boundaries. Cancer, you decide your boundaries. And if you want to redraw those lines, that is your prerogative. Nobody gets to tell you you can or can't do that. You're the one deciding, and this is manifest with boundaries. Reimagining, redrawing, and reholding to new boundaries. And granted, if you're having new boundaries with certain people, letting them know that is a good idea, but they'll figure it out if you don't want to. You deciding what those new boundaries are. I've seen it go two different ways. I don't remember why this happened this way, but one person had a certain relative that they did not let too close to them, and then it was just something they had done for years, and then something changed, and then all of a sudden they let that person close her, and they made a new boundary with that person. They decided that was right. I don't know why they did that. It was not my business, and I didn't ask, quite frankly. But I do know that they were happier with that change. They made that decision. I remember, the reason I'm bringing that up is I remember their siblings giving them a lot of issues over that. And I didn't understand it at the time. I think there was something with an issue in the past, and those other siblings were not over that issue from the past. The one person who did let the other person closer, they had processed it. That was their business. That is something to keep in mind here going forward. Like, not everybody's going to agree with your boundaries, but that's also bringing in that strength, saying, listen, these are my boundaries. I decide my boundaries. You don't get to decide my boundaries. I decide my boundaries. And if I'm okay with this, then this is how this is going to be. You don't have to be here when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, but I'm letting you know these are my new boundaries and this is how I'm doing it. I decide my boundaries. Hopefully that's coming across smoothly. Because I get that, like, there's some confusion here with that Seven of Cups about what's real and what's not real. The Seven of Cups is an interesting card in my opinion because it can talk about dreams, fantasies, opportunities. In this situation, with clarity backing it up, it's figuring out what in this situation is real, what is not, what used to be real, what is different now, why is it different from then to now, what has changed, things developing the way you feel you need to develop them. Other people, you might be giving them an opportunity to heal. Because if you're changing your boundaries and holding strong to what your boundaries need to be for you, you are teaching other people that they have the right to also redraw their own boundaries. And they have the ability to try something different or shut something down. And you're helping them see that. Like, they're in control of their boundaries. Other people don't get to set their boundaries. They have to set their boundaries just like you did. And you're giving them an opportunity to heal with that. That's very powerful for people. I don't think there's going to be a big issue, but there will be an issue coming forward. So there's going to be like a growing pains, basically growing pains. Passion with the Emperor coming in. When this moment comes up, ironically, I don't feel like direct conflict. I feel like I see result of conflict. Like, I don't, like, how do I explain this better? Like, I don't see you arguing or having like a screaming match with anybody. I do feel like you've made a decision, you've changed your boundaries, and certain people maybe don't like that and are just not showing up for a while. This is a weird thing. This is a weird moment because I feel like there's two ways to handle this. That take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a I'm just a reader. So if you don't like what this is saying next, don't do it. But if it sounds good, do what you feel is right. You're the executive of your life. Remember that. When that happens, there's one version where it's like, okay, they're not going to be around when this happens, or like when I have this new boundary in effect, they're just not going to be around. And accepting that too much will stick it. Will get it stuck. It won't move. It won't heal. It's like, be careful of over acceptance of that, which is like, I'm very like leery about saying that. The other version is different. It is not as bad as maybe I was originally thinking. It's kind of like, okay, that's their boundary. It's not my boundary. So all I do, instead of like saying, because I keep seeing things from the past, it's almost like, okay, if I invite this person, that person's not going to show up, just to make it really simple. So over accepting this is saying, okay, who am I going to invite this time? I'll invite one of them and not the other. That way it won't be a problem. That's over accepting it. That's ironic, to my opinion. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this dinner. Which one do I want to invite this time? I'll invite this one and not invite that one. Okay, this time I'm going to have a party. Actually, this one knows that one more than this one. I'm going to invite that one instead of this one, and just not invite the other one. That's the over acceptance part. Ironically, I understand why that would happen, but that's the over acceptance. This version is different, but yeah, it does have some similarities, I'm noticing. So it's kind of like, all right, these people have decided they won't be in the same room with each other, but that's their business. I'm still going to invite everybody, and I'm just going to make sure that they know that everybody has been invited. Like, I'm going to invite both people, and I'm just going to let them both know, hey, you're both invited. If you don't want to be around each other, that's fine, but I'm not a part of your boundary. Your boundary is your responsibility, not mine. So I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to monitor that. I'm not going to police that. I'm simply inviting the people I want to be there, and you're one, and this other person is another. If that's not okay, if you don't want to be there, that I understand that. No harm, no foul. I'm just being upfront. I'm going to invite everybody when I invite everybody. So it's almost like I'm letting them know, you don't want to be there, I get that. But also, I'm still inviting everybody. So if you both choose not to show up, fine. If you both choose to show up, fine. If one of you wants to and the other one doesn't, that's your problem. That's not my problem. I'm not investing in other people's boundaries. I have my own boundaries. I'm not here to regulate other people's boundaries. That's the way to handle it that actually gives this situation an opportunity to heal. I'm not managing it. I'm not, I would say corrugating. That's not right. Choreographing, I don't think that's right either. I'm not managing it. I'm just not managing other people's times or boundaries. I'm letting them know what's actually happening. I'm letting them know, hey, this person is invited too, just as much as you. And every time, just know if the family is invited or whatever, if this group of people is invited, if all the people from this group are invited or whatever, you are both a part of that. And I'm not going to like shut one of you down because the other doesn't like the other. I'm not doing that. There's a moment here that it may get a little weird. I still don't think people are arguing with you directly. But let me just get a little, how is this working for Cancer energy going on here? Yeah, no, I just feel like I'm refusing to get involved in other people's boundaries and problems. That's something for them to work out. I feel like I'm purposely not choosing a side, and I just like, I'm starting to realize there's a lot of depth to this, whatever this is, and it's not my business to be a part of that. And I feel like, there is some weird, I feel like other people are choosing sides for a while. I think that's where I'm getting the judgment reversed in the Four of Cups. So if, say there's 15 people, and two of these people don't get along, and you're like, all right, they don't get along, I'm just letting them know, everybody's invited. If they don't want to show up, I get it. But I'm not going to be regulating that. I'm not monitoring or managing your boundaries. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do that. I do feel like other people, of the 15 people, you might have like 3 or 4 people go to this side, 5 or 6 people go to that side. And all of a sudden it's like, out of the 15 people I invited, only 4 show up because these other people have chosen sides, and neither of them are going to show up because I invited everybody. And it's kind of like, all right, there might be some moments like that. The thing is, the 4 people that show up are completely cool like you. Just enjoy yourself, enjoy it with the people who did show up. Let it be what it is. It's a moment where it's like the judgment reversed is like, I don't like this. I don't think this is right. I feel like this is putting me in the middle of something that I shouldn't be in the middle of. And other people are taking sides, and they don't need to take sides. That's other people's business, is not my business. I don't know the details, and I don't need to know the details. That is for other people to manage, not for me to manage. It does pass. This, ironically, creates an energy where, say, again, 15 people, 4 people actually show up. A lot of people aren't liking, like the majority of these people aren't liking how this played out. And it gets things working behind the scenes. Like, is that necessary? Why did this play out this way? Does this need to be that way? Does Cancer have to be in the middle of it? Do we have to make Cancer do that? Obviously not. But it does create some changes. And this is where, ironically, things can heal. Because I feel like I don't have to be in the middle of it, but people start handling things differently. Now, I don't know what's going on in this situation. This is a general read. So, yeah, it's a general read. Let's just take it that way. So, because I keep getting, like, there's certain examples where certain people just don't get along, and I understand. But it's kind of like, I don't want to be in the middle of that. It's like if you have siblings or friends that just don't get along anymore, they can coexist. They just choose not to. That's one thing. If there's something more severe, that's a whole thing. I don't know what to say about that. It's your business. I get the healing can come in, prosperity can come in. The lovers come in the sense of like, there might be some really noticeable healing here. This gives the situation to actually do better without you being in the middle of it, but actually helping the healing have a chance. So it really does give a chance to the situation without you being in the middle of it. Even though I feel like it sounds like you're in the middle of it, sort of, almost like by proxy, but I keep getting, this is just an opportunity for the situation to heal and stop being stagnant. The more stagnant it is, the more festering it is, the more it breeds more animosity or whatever negativity is here. It doesn't heal, it just gets worse. This gives it a chance to air out, clear up, clean up, and actually do better. Typically, I've said this before, when things go through a healing process, it's not usually comfortable. You know what I mean? It's not. So if it's going to go through a healing process, it's going to have to go through some work like this. And this is that opportunity for this to go better. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.